We are asking tough questions tonight over the issue of those controversial large overtime payments to some Erie County managers during the pandemic.
And we have also learned that discussions over policy on how to better manage those payments will begin next week. Channel 2's Ron Plants is just back from speaking with Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz on the matter, and he joins us now from the Information Center. Ron, what'd you find out?
Well, Mary Alice and Scott, we know it's a sore subject for Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz, who has actually berated, you may recall, the media in the past for even bringing up the issue of overtime for some county officials like Health Commissioner Dr. Gail Burstein. But he is now willing to discuss the issue with other county officials. County Controller Kevin Hardwick, who is of course a former county lawmaker, confirms that a, quote, working group will meet in a closed-door session, no media, next Wednesday afternoon to discuss the policies with legislators, and Poloncarz says he will take part as well. Other county officials, many in the sheriff's office, also collected huge overtime and other compensation during the county's pandemic state of emergency. The Buffalo News reporting, though, the figure at $282,000, according to the newspaper, for just Dr. Burstein in 2020 and 2021. Now, the county executive calling for a comparison with other similar-sized metro areas in the country and still bristles at any reference to Dr. Burstein.
We're looking at this issue. I've had conversations with the legislature on this. The decision eventually will be made not by the controller. It'll be made by the legislature and my administration. We've already done some fact checking with regards to other counties, and I think it's going to shock people that most of our administrators are underpaid. The highest amount of overtime that paid is not in my administration. It's actually in the sheriff's office. So you got to look at all of that. I think that's important. And I think it's inappropriate to focus on one individual, because it makes you question why you're focusing on one individual.
Well, I will say that you said that the former controller said that was anti-Semitic. Now the current controller wants to do this analysis. Now you're fine with it.
Well, there's a difference between focusing on the grants program and the controller focusing on one individual.
Okay, to continue on, there are additional questions about how any new salary or OT policy for how these county officials appointed by the elected county executive, sheriff, or other elected officer would be subject to something called the Federal Fair Labor Standards Act. Obviously, a complicated but important discussion coming up for Erie County officials. Ron Plants, Channel 2 News.